guess I'll get the papers and go home, like I've been doing since we've been apart. I get some consolation when I
Up in the old hotel, late one Saturday night, Ma and Pa kettle on the radio, spoiling for a fight. And it's oh yeah, I remember it well, the night we fell in love up in the old hotel. This is Tom Russell talking about my new record, Folk Hotel. My sister thinks it's a folk record, and she says the best record I've done, vocally, sonically, and song-wise. She's the cameraman here. 13 new songs, one Bob Dylan cover with Joe Ely. We're going to take you through a few of them. This is Freddie Neal, a resident of the Folk Hotel. Ramblin' Jack Elliott, troubadour voices that I call up for inspiration. Thank you. We're leaving Bohemian, New York for a minute, going to the southwest. We're in Santa Fe. The next song is Leaving El Paso, about my wife and I moving from El Paso up the Jornada del Muerto, where the Spanish came 500 years ago, up here to Santa Fe. This is a coyote fence. It figures in several of the songs. The light comes through, the eyes of God. Eliza Gilkison sings on this with me, and Joel Guzman on accordion. In fact, let's go to Austin now, inside the studio, and check in on Eliza and Joel Guzman. Adios, my friend. We're leaving El Paso. All the Rio Grande's gone bone dry, and all the stories have been told. Here we are in the Nova Beat Bar in Santa Fe, my bar dedicated to my radio show on Facebook. I was sitting here 2 months ago with Ian Tyson. There's a picture of that. Ian in our Nova Beat Bar. Asked him why he didn't move down here where it was warmer. He said, I can't leave these old horses up in Alberta. That's the third song on the record for Ian Tyson. Onward we go to a couple of songs that deal with Wales and Ireland. The Sparrow of Swansea I wrote with Katie Moffat about Dylan Thomas. I have a painting of Dylan up over here, right next to Hemingway and Bukowski. These are the inspirations, really, for some songs on the new record, Folk Hotel. And then there's a long Joycean song called All on a Belfast Morning, about a day in the life of Belfast, Ireland. All on a Belfast morning. Next three songs, Rise Up Handsome Johnny, Harlan Clancy, and The Last Time I Saw Hank. We're heading more into the country room, blues room. Rise Up Handsome Johnny is about my meeting John F. Kennedy in the Coliseum parking lot, 1960 LA, and then fast forward 1963 after he is assassinated. I'm playing a football game in that same Coliseum. And then there's Harlan Clancy. He works in a hardware store out in southern Ohio. We don't know how he voted, but we're trying to get into his head. The great Augie Meyer does the vocal piano intro, talking about Harlan Clancy throwing his TV into the river because of the news. And then next song is about a dream I had about Hank Williams. Let's go back to Austin and the Congress House and watch the great Augie Meyer of the Texas Tornadoes, Sir Douglas Quintet, doing that intro in Austin, Texas.
I know this guy named Harlan Clancy.
Here we are back in the Nova Beat Bar, where I go sometimes for inspiration. It's a tower bar full of all my heroes and inspirations. The record ends out with 2 or 3 songs that are very folky. The Dram House down in Gutter Lane, made up totally of slang from the 16th century. Dram houses, beggars, all these words I had no access to, bringing them back into the folk lexicon. And then onward to a couple poems I wrote, The Day They Dredged the Liffey, Banks of Montauk, and finally The Road to Santa Fe, about coming back here off the road, and formally about meeting my wife in Switzerland, getting married. Our best men were Ian Tyson and Ramblin' Jack Elliott. We end off the record, Folk Hotel, with a few bonus tracks. One about Lightnin' Hopkins' scars on his ankle from the Chain Gang, meeting white journalist Grover Lewis back in the 60s. Their two stories mixing together down in Houston, mixing journalism with blues and folk music. It's like a film. And another bonus track, Bob Dylan's Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, probably my favorite Dylan song. Takes place in Juarez, Mexico. Joe Ely, the great Joe Ely, who did a great version of Gallo del Cielo, is singing the duet with me, and Joel Guzman on the accordion. In fact, to end this little film off, let's go back to Austin, the Congress House Studios, Mark Hallman, producer, director, and see Joe warming up on the Dylan song and maybe Joel Guzman. Folk Hotel.
Up on the housing project hill, it's either fortune or fame. You must pick one or the other, though neither of them are to be what they claim. If you're looking to get silly, you better go back to where it was you came.
Man, that was a hell of a song. So it's adios, my friend. We're leaving El Paso. All the Rio Grande's gone bone dry, and all the stories have been told. We're hooking up north now, up the Jornada del Muerto, on the trail of the conquistadores, toward the Santa Fe Sun, following the dry old Rio Bravo, toward the Santa Fe Sun.